Next, we have a particularly interesting and important slice of news for you amid this big question over where they are going to choose to run from, who the Congress is finally going to put up in the Amethi seat. We're learning the Gandhis may actually stop at Ayodhya before Amethi and Raebareli. The dates are being figured out as we speak. Let's go over to our colleague Pallavi to understand more. Pallavi, this was part of the Congress messaging when the Ram Mandir was being inaugurated a few months ago. The Congress said, we'll go, but on our own terms. Seemingly, these are their own terms. Can you just bring us more context?
Well, yes, and there has been mounting criticism, if you notice, where the Prime Minister and much of BJP has been attacking Rahul Gandhi as well as the Congress party for being anti-Ram and not even going in for the Pran Pratishtha. And you're absolutely right, Toya. Clearly, they want to choose their own moment. What we are being told by the top Congress leadership and sources is that after tomorrow, when the voting takes place in Wayanad, we can expect some clarity as far as whether the Gandhis are actually going to be contesting from Amethi and Raebareli. In fact, there is a big bang press conference today also at around 12:30 from Jairam Ramesh, where certainly we are going to be asking them this question. But for now, what information we are getting are twofold, that it is highly likely that the Gandhi siblings may take the plunge and it will be very difficult for Rahul Gandhi to opt out of Amethi. But before they head to Amethi and Raebareli to file in their nomination papers, they are likely to make a visit to Ayodhya and first offer their prayers at the Ram Mandir and then possibly go to Amethi as well as Raebareli. Raebareli is where the nomination takes place for both the constituencies. Smriti Irani is filing her nomination on 29. So it is going to be a point which the Gandhis are going to make if they turn up in Ayodhya, though the party is telling us that a date has not yet been finalized. And the point that they make is that Ram belongs to all. We did not want to be a part of a photo opportunity by the BJP or in the Pran Pratishtha took place. We are going there when we feel like going, and only the BJP cannot claim to be the only Ram Bhakts.
Can you also tell us, Pallavi, have you seen a correlation in the past between the lateness with which a party announces the candidate and how that candidate actually performs? Could this essentially boomerang on the Congress?
Well, you know, Toya, if I'm going to make a comparison to 2019, in 2019, we saw that announcement of Rahul Gandhi from both the constituencies at a very short gap. What we are seeing this time round is something which is very, very unusual, because every day they're coming out with a list. Till now, 308 candidates have been announced by the Congress party, but it is these two constituencies which everyone watches out for. See, in UP, as per the alliance with the Samajwadi Party, it's going to be contesting on 17 seats. Candidates have been announced for 15, not so for Amethi and Raebareli, and even the BJP is watching. They too haven't announced anyone from Raebareli because they are going to be seeing who the Congress party puts up. And therefore, the longer they take, the more delay that is taking place, that certainly is going to do damage, because, you know, it is not going to blunt the narrative pushed by the BJP that Rahul Gandhi ran away from Amethi. Still now, the Congress party is facing this attack from the PM and from the BJP, Toya, that Rahul Gandhi may still run away from Wayanad and that he is scared to announce his candidature from Amethi.
Okay, Pallavi, can we ask you to stay with us, please? We'll come back to you in a second. Let's just play out more reactions for our audiences.
कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता रॉबर्ट जी को मांग रहे हैं, जीजा जी को मांग रहे हैं, पहले साले साहब को मांग रहे थे। उनका है जीजा हो या साला, अमेठी में हर वोटर है मोदी का मतवाला, भैया भूल जाओ। सही कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि जीजा जी आएंगे तो सुरेश सबको, और जीजा जी की नजर जगदीशपुर पे है, कहीं इधर है। जीजा जी आएंगे तिवारी जी तो बाग के कागज छुपा लेना, जीजा जी आएंगे तो घर के कागज छुपा लेना तिवारी जी, जीजा की नजर पक्की है। लेकिन फिर कहते हैं जीजा हो या साला, अमेठी में हर वोटर मोदी का मतवाला।
कांग्रेस का स्थिति देखो क्या है। कांग्रेस पार्टी को अमेठी में, जिस अमेठी से रायबरेली वगैरह से, तो उन लोग बरसों तक, दशकों तक चुनाव जीत के आते थे, उधर उनको एक कैंडिडेट नहीं है।
Okay, so we're seeing those reactions coming in, particularly that response we got right now from Smriti Irani. Let's just go back to our colleague Pallavi to understand more. Pallavi, can you tell our audiences, Smriti Irani, the incumbent in Amethi, when you've spoken to citizens in the area, to residents of that Amethi seat, what do they have to say about what the last 5 years has looked like?
Well, in the last 5 years, and I've been following and been going to Amethi also, Rahul Gandhi has gone there only thrice over. And the last time he went there was a part of the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, and he actually clubbed it for 24 hours, both to Amethi and Raebareli. In the midst of all this, you're seeing a lot of changes which has taken place in Amethi. The focus clearly has been on economic development, and Smriti Irani has made the point that you need a double engine ki sarkar. And the second, of course, is that, there has been no development. She puts up a Coca-Cola factory and a AK-47 factory, which means more and more job opportunities. Also, the second problem which is the Congress is facing is that many of those who are party workers, because they don't know what is in store for them, have quit and have joined the BJP. That has become a huge problem as far as the Congress's ground level organization is concerned. Elections are won, they are lost by the Karyakartas to a very great extent. If you're not able to drag your voters, your party workers to the booth, that becomes a bit of a problem. And I saw that happening in 2019 when Rahul Gandhi lost from Amethi.
Can we just ask you to stay with us, Pallavi? We'll keep coming back to you for more insights. First, more reactions.
अब ये उनके साले साहब बताएंगे कि जीजा जी को लड़ाएंगे कि नहीं लड़ाएंगे, इस बारे में हमारे पास कोई जानकारी नहीं। अब ये उनके साले साहब बताएंगे कि जीजा जी को लड़ाएंगे कि नहीं लड़ाएंगे, इस बारे में हमारे पास कोई जानकारी नहीं।
देखिए, जिनके घर शीशे के होते हैं वो दूसरों के घरों में पत्थर नहीं मारा करते हैं। तो परिवार की बातें हमसे ना करें भारतीय जनता पार्टी। कितने परिवार हैं उनके वहाँ, वो सब लोग जानते हैं। रही बात समाजवादी पार्टी की, समाजवादी पार्टी विनेबिलिटी ढूंढती है और विनेबिलिटी जहाँ पर होगी वहाँ पे उसको लड़ाएगी, चाहे वो जिस परिवार का हो, चाहे जो कैंडिडेट हो। क्या वो पहले से सांसद नहीं रहे हैं या घर से लाके किसी को बैठा दिया गया है? वो लोग कार्यकर्ता की तरह काम कर रहे हैं, वहाँ पे जन भावनाएं उनके साथ में खड़ी हुई हैं, इसलिए वहाँ पे लड़ रहे हैं।
Okay, let's move on right now to the top political controversy as we speak. A storm over statements made by Sam Pitroda, the Indian overseas in charge for the Congress. Now, Prime Minister Modi tore into the Congress over Sam Pitroda's remarks. All of this took place yesterday. The Congress has now hit back. Exactly what happened? First, Sam Pitroda, who, as we already told you, leads, in fact, the Indian Overseas Congress. He had been on the receiving end of backlash after his comments regarding the US inheritance tax and his argument that something similar should be implemented in India. After that, the BJP had gone on the offensive. They targeted the Congress for statements, and now the Congress is pushing back. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh saying that several BJP leaders, including the former finance minister, have praised the concept of an inheritance tax in the past. He also said that several news reports in the past suggested that the BJP also wanted to implement something like this. This, as we told you, is the continuing back and forth. Take a look first at different reactions that have come in, then we'll go back to our reporters to understand more.
In America, there is an inheritance tax. So if, let's say, one has $100 million worth of wealth, and when he dies, he can only transfer probably 45% to his children. 55% is grabbed by government. Now that's an interesting law. It says, you in your generation made wealth. You are leaving now. You must leave your wealth for public. Not all of it, half of it. Which to me sounds fair. In India, you don't have that. If somebody is worth 10 billion and he dies, his children get 10 billion.